So we are here today, not with the Bloodhound Gang episode as planned. After quite a bit of discussion, we figured we are way too uncomfortable to just be nervously giggling about vagina euphemisms for a half an hour, so we decided to quickly steer left and do one of the fan favorite episodes, the Mixtape draft. This week we are absolutely torturing ourselves with the year 2003, which saw many of our favorite albums of all time. And again, we are just driving stakes into our knees, trying to pick only 5 songs that survive. We might have to cheat and make it 7 or 10 because there's so much good stuff that came out in 2003. How are you feeling about it, Pat?
Not good.
What is going on, everybody? I'm Tom.
And I'm Pat.
We're best friends, and you're listening to the Reminiscent Podcast. They say you can't choose your family. Well, you also can't choose which era of music you grew up in. This is a weekly show where we discuss our favorite bands from adolescence and how they continue to shape our lives today. Each week, we'll head back to the early 2000s and take a closer look at the cards we were dealt.
Well, we talked about doing this. I had thought we had done more, I guess, mixtape episodes. I was worried.
Yeah.
But
yeah, me too.
I think I was just subconsciously trying to avoid this year altogether. Because after looking at the list, you just called me before the show and you were like, I can't believe these 3 albums came out that year. I'm like, those 3 albums came out this year? Like, I already thought my list was long. Like, my honorable mentions list was already like 20 deep. So let's just take it step by step. It's going to get heated. It's going to get emotional. But let's just see how it rides here.
So for the listeners, what I'm looking at on my screen, I have just a list of like 40 songs, and I don't know which ones are going to be the top 5. This is going to be brutal. Oh my God, 2003. I was 12. You were, maybe 13? And I don't think I was as in it at this time with a lot of these songs / albums that came out. Probably came around to them 2 or 3 years later, but oh my God. Oh, we need to flip a coin. Let me
or dice or whatever you see first, and we'll figure it out.
I have a green Tortex guitar pick, which is the .88 millimeters, of course, by Dunlop. We have Turtle Side Up and Turtle Side Down. Which one do you want?
This feels like a loaded question. Turtle Side Up. I'm feeling good about the turtle.
And we have Turtle Side Down.
Not a good start.
You put a lot of trust in me to not lie about that.
There's some emo stuff that year. I should have gone turtle feeling sad. Turtle with bangs. Turtle with eyeliner.
Oh my God. Okay. So I'll take the first one. You take the next 2. See, this is hard because I know that we are probably gunning for a lot of the same songs. Oh, Jesus. I almost feel uncomfortable about this, but I'm going to start us off with the title track from Yellow Card's Ocean Avenue.
Take it.
My number 1 pick, Ocean Avenue by Yellow Card. Probably a bad move. I don't know if you would have picked that anyway.
I'm not going to reveal my cards yet, but I'm just going to let you wallow in that one. Do you care to elaborate?
Yeah, so I think I've told this story.
Well, we talked about this music video. We have like an entire episode where we delve a little deeper. Yes,
we did a whole episode on Ocean Avenue, the music video, the song. I'll put a link in the show notes, reminiscentpodcast.com/episodes/143. Is that the episode we're at? Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Or wait, no, sorry, 134. Am I dyslexic right now? Hold on, let me double check.
Which, am I dyslexic right now, might have been a name from one of the songs on the Fall Out Boy record.
No, it's 143. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So in the show notes, we'll put the link to that episode, but Ocean Avenue was like in 8th grade, which would have been 2004, the year after this. It was on the radio rotation every 8 minutes, it seemed like. So I remember being on the bus on the way to public school and this song would always be on. And I mean, I talked about it more in detail last week on the Hawthorne Heights episode. I had a pretty rough like home life around this time, and I went from Catholic school to public school. So being on my way to public school was like incredible because I loved school so much. I couldn't wait to get out of my house and go to school. And it seemed like Ocean Avenue was like always playing as I left this place I hated to go somewhere that I like really enjoyed. So it kind of became this like soundtrack of just being like 13 and going to see my friends. And the song was super angsty. I don't think I really experienced that level of angst at the time, but I could like feel it, you know, it was so fucking palpable. Yeah, I don't know. To me, it feels like a song of freedom, even though the lyrics say otherwise. But it was just like it was a song that our class kind of bonded over. Everyone loved the song. It was everywhere at every party. And, yeah, I just think I have a super strong emotional attachment to it, and got to be number one.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good album. I remember that summer. You got the burned CD. It took the whole album to figure out whether or not the fiddle was working, and then by the end, you were like, "Oh wait, I thoroughly enjoyed all of that." Right. So you just would listen to it over and over. You're just like, "Whoa, this is kind of new," and then it was over. You're like, "Oh gosh, that was pretty terrific." Still upset, and I said this in the episode, but the way he sings Night just kind of always bugged me, but it was weird enough to stick around to get used to like, wait a minute, what are they trying to pull? Anyway, good pick. I wouldn't have picked it, so you just burned your number one draft pick.
I know.
We're like, hey, we're going to have an easy week. Let's do a mixtape draft. And we're like, oh, great, chill, dude. It could be the trillest, chillest vibes of all time. Can I get a vibe check, please? And as soon as we hit record, we're like, oh, God. Okay. If I'm going for something I want to steal from you.
Oh.
It's tough because there is too much. I'll just get one out of the way. How about that? I'm going to go ahead and just snag Such Great Heights right off the bat.
Oh, man.
I think we were both going to pick something off of Give Up, which was a top 3 album of the entire decade, if I'm talking about how many times I listened to stuff front to back.
Sure.
I'm not sure. I mean, it's the obvious song to pick. I'm not sure it's my favorite on the record, but I'm going to pick it just because it represents the idea. I mean, what's weird is I'm doing it so I can steal one from you so we can cover more ground in a weird way, because if I picked like Clark Gable or something, you could just pick Such Great Heights and we would just be talking about, well, maybe we should just talk about the Postal Service for the rest of the episode because
I'm down.
Add it to the list. No, it was just one of those things. We talk about James McCallion a lot. His brother played this record CD in the car. He's like, this is going to be your new favorite CD. And he played it on the way home from indoor soccer practice one day. And it was like, well, you're right. It is. So just super different, super sad, like feelings. Interesting. I think I'm going to allow myself to feel them. So yeah, just a new sound that kind of just hit your brain hard. Like it was going to Yellow Card with the fiddle was like, oh, this is new-ish. You know, it was like Newfound Glory with the fiddle or whatever. It's like, all right, yeah, they have a wrinkle. That's cool. This was like, boom, you know, like from track 1 with the poetry of Gibbard down to the slow beats to the techno thing. I think Fruity Loops was like a program people had on their computers at the time when everyone was like, yeah, we'll just become the Postal Service. It's no big deal, right? Like we all have access to this technology. Let's just become famous. And obviously they were talented, more talented than the average person. But yeah, it was cool. And that's my pick because I'm here to win. I'm not here to mess around, honestly.
I also love that they literally created this album by like recording parts and then sending each other CDs back and forth through the U.S. Postal Service. Like
it's like an upsettingly good name for the project, and it's upsettingly good in terms of quality of music as well. It's like them, but also thank you very much, sincerely. But also, it's like I went on a college visit way too early with some of the kids from my neighborhood that were a year ahead, and we went to a party at Pitt University. Or University of Pittsburgh, but Pitt. And there was this lady at the party who was like obviously from New Jersey or the Philly area. And she found out that I was still in high school and still like a year younger than my friends that were actually visiting, doing the college visit. And she kept saying like, "F you, but good for you, but good for you." But honestly, F you, but good for you. And she'd be like, "Oh my God, you're going to go to prom? F you, but good for you." I don't know. Anyway. So
Dude, Megan and I just did that to each other last night. And we always do F you, but good for you.
It's one of those legendary interactions of my lifetime. And that's exactly how I feel about this Postal Service album. F you, but good for you.
So,
oh my God, will you take me to prom? Will you take me? Oh my God, f you. But yeah, good for you. Good for you. She might have been 33. Like I was so drunk as I was 21 at the time, of course. Anyway, let's move on.
Wait, hold on though, real quick. You, Zach, and I were just texting each other last night because we are making music together again. And we are kind of doing this long distance band project thing. And I thought, oh man, this is kind of like the Postal Service, right? Doing the recording from different locations, sending it back and forth. We are sending files through Dropbox. So should we name our new band Dropbox? Oh.
Interesting.
Worst band name ever.
Well, for the past
give me that lawsuit.
Yeah, that's what Tom's the king of. Like, we can get famous by having someone huge sue our asses back to. It's just like, yo, what if our first move ever was to get sued immediately? It's like, sure, yeah, that's one way, yeah, definitely. But yeah, it's something to think about because after Parks and Rec came around and Andy Dwyer, the character, kept saying dibs on the band name, it became kind of a thing, and you say it all the time as like a ha-ha thing, but I should have been writing all those down.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you actually come across a good one in everyday life. But anyway, that's my first pick. Are we snaking it? Do I get another choice?
Yeah, you get another choice.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Josh. Good for you. Good for me. I'm going for the jugular on this one, I think. I'm going to go with Quiet Things That No One Ever Knows.
Oh, you motherfucker!
What was your first pick again?
Damn it. Oh, Ocean Avenue.
Oh my God. What a blown pick. Plus the lead singer is not a pleasant guy.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
Well, neither is Jesse Lacey. So
oh yeah, sure.
So many good Twitter jokes this week of like how problematic the pop punk of the early 2000s community was, which maybe is a topic for another day, but I actually don't even want to pick that. Do you want me to amend it or you want me to stick to it?
Yeah,
I hate to have such a contentious. I'll stick to it then. I'll see if I can get away with what I want to try to get away with here. But now that the table's set, you can come right back at me because you have two picks now.
Oh my God. Okay.
All right. I guess we should. Do we talk about brand new? Just like two albums that before, he became one. Him and Ryan Adams and several others from that scene. But yeah, Deja Entendu. And am I pronouncing that correctly?
I guess so. Deja Entendu. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. And then what was the other one that was really good? Your Favorite Weapon. Those were like front to backers for sure at the time. Kind of just taking the angst, turning it up. Obviously, people in the 90s got better rap beefs than we got, but them being like slap fight mad at Taking Back Sunday for those 15 years was super fun. So, it wasn't quite as dramatic as anything involving Eazy-E, but, it was, you slept with my sister, man. It's just whatever. Which I don't even know if that's what happened, but it was fun. There's a little bit of lore there, a little fun, a little back and forth. But yeah, Quiet Things That No One Ever Knows. We were talking about good YouTube wormholes the other day. Alt Press had a good article about like times bands that weren't quite fitting the scene of going on Jimmy Kimmel Live at night played. Because we did the Hawthorne Heights episode recently. They were one of them. The other one was Jesse Lacey and everyone. They all had like ties and sports coats on and were just so like physically angst filled. Or like visibly, I mean.
The one dude had like fuzzy slippers on though.
It was weird. It was a weird time. I think it was like that performance. It's just hard to really. It was definitely the biggest push pit, if I had to guess, ever at Jimmy Kimmel Live. Yeah. But they weren't there. Like, well, we were talking about it, and it was like we watched the starting line performance on Jimmy Kimmel, and they were just like obviously getting laid so much that summer that they didn't care, and they just like played a really fun song, "Best of Me." But Jesse Lacey, it was like there was no fun to be had. It was just like I don't know. The screams weren't just. He wasn't just good at screaming. I think he was actually. I don't know. just hurting or something. I have no idea. But yeah, it was a crazy record. Perfect for the age range, right? Angst-wise.
Yeah, we could say that for sure. Damn good pick. I'm so pissed.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm tempted to just say The Future Freaks Me Out just to your whole life up right now.
I don't even, let's see. Go ahead. Let me fact check when that was released. Because I missed a Motion City opportunity last time, but I don't think there are any this time.
And the movie came out in 2003. This is also the episode. No, it came out in 2002. This is the episode where I always pick stuff from different years because I suck at research.
Yeah, it's tough to compete with you because you'll just say something so groundbreaking, and I'm like, this is either patently false or I did not research enough at all. The thing is, I got my doors blown off last time because I missed my Motion City soundtrack opportunity.
Just try to bring it up again. God.
Yeah. So I tried to come prepared this week, and you gave me a couple cheat sheets at the when we were talking before we recorded. So I'm sorry, but also let's just see what happens. You know, it's young. This is only round 2 still. You're going to finish it off here.
Got to do some. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Oh God.
There's a couple obvious ones that have to some dominoes that have to fall before we get to the fun ones.
I don't know if I have the obvious ones you're talking. Now I'm like super insecure about everything that I have here.
No, well, Yellow Card's a good pick. I mean, talking aside, obviously that's one of the, in terms of the context of this show and what we're listening to at the time.
I can't believe I'm going to do this. I'm going to pick I Miss You.
Do it.
By Blink-182.
Whew. Strong pick. That's the thing. It's like when you play, I don't know. It's tough. Grass is always greener syndrome, right?
Yeah,
but like,
yeah.
if you going with Ocean Avenue after 2 rounds and having your 2, that's strong as And obviously, people who listen to the show know that the Blink love is strong.
Oh God, this is so hard because
Well, we did. The music video was great. We did a whole episode on it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like,
there's an episode there too.
I don't think people maybe over time have given self-titled its due. Obviously, it's not Take Off Your Pants and Jacket or Enema, but you get Moody Tom. You look at some of this other Moody stuff. It was just things were happening, you know.
Because you picked my 2 like heavy hitters, which I knew was going to happen. Like it was obvious, but
well, Miss You was literally, I've talked about it on the show before. It was one of my most listened to on my original iTunes library of all the music I had compiled for like the first 18 years of life. So I should be mad at you, but I'm so hungry with revenge that I am still plotting just to ruin your day.
So I feel like I talked at length about my first time hearing I Miss You on that episode.
Yeah, you don't have to if you don't want to repeat, but...
Well, I mean, I was young.
What's the Cliff Notes version?
I was young. I was kind of in love with this girl that I wasn't dating at the time, and we kind of loved this song together. It kind of brought us close. And, this is right around the time when I was like getting into Blink-182, so it's like one of my earliest memories of listening to them before I really dove hard into their back catalog. Like, I knew all the small things for years before that, but didn't really know their albums too much until after Self-Titled came out, and then it kind of opened that, kind of blew the door off the hinges there. But I guess what's hard is there are other songs from the albums that you picked already, but now I'm like hesitant to like double down on it.
Oh, you can double down.
I could.
There's another album that is dangling. There's 2.
Yeah.
Dingle, dangle, dongle.
Well, this feels so hard. Maybe
if we're going 7 deep, that's a lot of room.
Oh, we are doing 7.
Well, let's see what the 5s look like.
Okay.
Because there's a few that I'm going to be upset with myself. I wasn't like true to myself.
Yeah.
Because I just was so weirdly intent on making you upset. How's it going, man? It's nice to talk to you every week. But yeah, go ahead. Let's make our pick. See where we're at 5. And there's going to be too many honorable mentions already. But
yeah. This is a weird one. I don't think it should be 3rd, but I'm going to go for it. The Shooting Star That Destroyed Us All by A Static Lullaby.
Yes. Yes. I would not have picked it, but that was one of my Screamo songs till the end.
Yeah, it is. Again, it came from James McCallion, Down on High, from probably his brother Billy. 8th grade, 2004, we did soccer club together, and this song, it was like this song and Best of Me by The Starting Line that was just playing on a nonstop rotation, and Sandstorm by Darude. Like these three
Yeah,
songs.
there's a few more techno songs in there. Like mixes were a thing, burnt CDs and everything, but techno was such a thing that one of the mixes that was getting passed around was just James's techno mix with like Sandstorm and Castles in the Sky and the weird James Bond remix techno song
and the Halloween.
Oh, that was such a good one. The techno dance parties, I think, were not something to be
taken lightly,
trifled with. I think we had some good ones.
Yeah,
like it would happen during school dances. There'd always be like a 3-minute or like 5 to 10 minute techno period towards the end, when Alex Burtis would convince the DJ to like, I don't know, use the restroom or something and then just take over his iPod. You know, like some prep kid would be getting paid hundreds of bucks to turn his iPod on for 2 hours or whatever. But you'd be like, yeah, no, I got you, man. And he would just play like Sandstorm on repeat or like extended live version of Castles in the Sky. And like everyone would leave. Everyone knew Alex would just like dive bombing the dance. But when the lights came on, there were still like 20 people just only jumping. It wasn't even dancing, but it was just
only
like
jumping.
It was about
with their hands in the middle.
Right. It was about as hype as you could get without doing the drugs people now associate with.
Yes,
or even then associated or always have associated with. Is it EDM or electronic dance music or what have you? But just high on life, man. Jumping, real sweaty, lots of sweat. Just enjoying letting the music flow. So, yeah, much love to those mixes. Good pick. It's a good pick. I forget what it is.
Thanks, man.
I forget what it is already, but
A Shooting Star That Destroyed Us All. Techno for some reason.
I mean, similar to good memories with the soccer team. It's a good, similar to Alexis on Fire in my brain in terms of guy with nice voice that there's also screaming in the music because of the era, but just a good melody, good song. I like it a lot. Good pick.
Yeah. It was like the only song from that band that I really liked, to be honest.
Yeah. It was one of those on the iPod. You're like, oh, you're into Static Lullaby, but it's like, nope, I just like this one song.
So I talk often about bands that I like discover in pairs and that I associate together. I feel like it might have been James from 8th grade. He introduced me to this song, The Shooting Star That Destroyed Us All, and The Best of Me on like the same day. And I remember I went over to Stephanie's house, who was my girlfriend at the time, be like, oh my God, I just heard this amazing song by a band called like A Static Finish. I like confused Starting Line and Static Lullaby and somehow blended it to a static finish.
the static starting static.
And, obviously she hated this song. It was weird that my sister loved this song because she hated screaming, but I remember coming up the stairs one day. You like walk up the stairs into my mom's house, which actually she's selling tomorrow. Super stoked.
Pour some out, man. That's sad.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to go get something to pour out for it just now.
Okay. So you walk up the stairs and it's like my room on the right, my sister's immediately to the left. I go up the stairs to go in my room and I heard The Shooting Star That Destroyed Us All coming from my sister's room. And I was like, oh my God, like I can't believe she's listening to this song and she, bared through the screaming parts. I always thought that was super cool because we didn't really agree too much on music. It's funny, she loved Taylor Swift at the time with her her debut release, and I was like, oh my God, this is so lame. And obviously now 15 years later I'm obsessed with Taylor Swift. Funny times, but yeah, good song, good memories attached to it, and happy to make my third pick.
Sure. Well, this goes to your mom's old house.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're going full ASMR. All right. A little sparkling water action for you.
Oh, sparkling water. What's the worst thing to fucking drink during a recording, dude?
Just gonna get real burpy, So just quick behind the scenes action. We've experimented with eating green apples to keep our mouths less saliva-y. AKA Tom recommended it and I just have ignored him.
Dude, okay, so I have to run a plugin called D Mouth Click.
I heard you on that other podcast you were on about podcast editing, and you were like, man, that guy clicks his mouth so much. And I was like, oh, no, I didn't know.
I didn't know you
I didn't know.
Dude, it is like there's a setting where it only outputs the clicks, and it sounds like an alien horror movie. Like,
you should sell that as a royalty-free, like, or like a sound effect to M. Night Shyamalan.
Manite?
For the 20th Signs anniversary, it'd be like new and improved clicks from a human, believe it or not. All right, I get 2 picks now.
Yeah.
This will be my 3rd and 4th.
Yes.
And also here, I'll take a sip for your mom's house because it was good memories.
All right.
Accidentally broke a lot of stuff in that house. Just legitimately brought the property value down. My apologies to her. Let's go here. Let's go this. Let's do this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
There's one of my favorites that I know you're not going to pick, so I'm going to hold off on it unless you want to figure it out and get swifty on me. But I'm going to go with pick 3. Tell that Mick he just made my list of things to do today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
I'm surprised. Maybe I didn't tell you how much I love that record or that song.
I am surprised because I had, at one point, I'm looking at a different note, I guess. I had that album.
I saw
here.
Grand Theft Autumn, and I was like, Tom's going to pick Grand Theft Autumn for sure. And that was one I agreed mentally to let you have because that track 1 is just my favorite by far on that album.
I will say that I really did struggle with this album because it was very important to me at the time, but it hasn't maintained its relevance since high school. So I don't actually think I'm going to pick anything from it on my main list, but
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know. At the time it was super important though, but I don't know. Anyways, good pick.
It's the best angry breakup song ever. One of them. Wouldn't piss to put you out if you were on fire type vibes. Definitely strong words, strong language. It's like themes that a junior high person wouldn't be able to relate with at all, which I think is a running common thought process for most of these bands. They're all like 23-year-olds and we're 13. Like, yeah, light that smoke for giving up on me, you know? Anyway, number 4, I don't want to ruin your day, but you know, I like Take This to Your Grave. I think it's kind of like when you just discover that there's an album before Young and the Hopeless and you're like, oh, cool. More great early Good Charlotte.
Yeah.
You From Under the Cork Tree came out and just blew our doors off in high school, freshman year. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, oh my God, there's this whole other harder, angstier, you know, arguably better depending on the mindset.
Sure.
And it is, you're like, oh my God. Huzzah. Anyway, like, cool. More things to be angry to. But yeah, tell that Mick it rocks so hard. It rocks so hard. It just does. I like it a lot.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Let's do this. Let's go with Whatever Happened by The Strokes. Off of, I believe,
you
Room
and
on Fire.
The Strokes, dude.
Okay. The Strokes, I don't care, whatever. Super rich kids with nothing but fake friends, whatever. To quote Frank Ocean or whatever. But, or is it Earl Sweatshirt? Who's to say? I'm not checking that. Yeah, I think it's on that Kirsten Dunst Marie Antoinette movie soundtrack.
Fucking punk rock, dude.
Yeah, hell yeah. I love it. It's not a sad boy Hall of Famer, but it's definitely just one of the best, one of my favorites, like not even trying to make you upset. I love that song. I Want to Be Forgotten and I Don't Want to Be Reminded. Really good. Pre-reading live or Meet Me in the Bathroom, I didn't care much for the Strokes. Kind of a newfound respect after reading the book. But this was pre-book favorite song of theirs for me, personal favorite. So I'm going to pick it, and I'm just super curious which one you're going to steal from me because I'm going to hand the plate back to you and see what we want to do with the ball here.
I don't know if I'm gonna steal anything from you. So like,
well, now I just feel bad for. I kind of want to redraft, knowing that there's a way around all of this. Because I know you do a quick trade, take Quiet Things That No One Ever Knows right now, and then I'll make a different pick.
No, I mean, that honestly, I am honestly a little heartbroken. But like the way,
just take the deal. Take the deal.
No.
Take that. I'll pick one, and then you make your second pick.
No, okay. So the way that I have to frame this in my mind so I don't get too upset.
No, here,
is that
Tom,
we're making an album
this.
together. No, I don't want it.
No.
I don't want it. I don't want it. I hate
take
that
it.
song.
If you take it, let me pick one. You can have 3 picks in a row.
It's okay.
Do it.
No, you got it.
Take the deal.
I could have started with that rather than Ocean Avenue, but
I don't even want it. It came from a bad place. I'm trying. This isn't an olive branch here.
Live with your guilt, dude. I'm gonna pick.
Oh my God. Now it's turned back. You use the IrishCatholicGuilt.com, folks. We'll redirect you to our podcast page. Tom knows how to play me like a damn fiddle.
I think I might just have to like quadruple down on super sad stuff. Linkin Park came out with Meteora this year, 2003. And discovering this album, Danny Majeski introduced me to it. It was weird. I think I might have told the story before. We mentioned like riding bikes in the woods behind my house a couple episodes ago. And I guess my sister and her boyfriend, Kara, her friend, and God, someone else were like hanging out in the woods, and they just found this bike. And they brought it home. They rode it home on empty tires. All 3 of them like crammed onto this bike with like a broken seat. And it was in our garage for a long time. It was a Schwinn Predator LE dirt jumping bike. It was kind of like a BMX bike, slightly bigger, fatter tires. And after a while I was like, I want to ride this bike. Like, this thing looks sweet. And I knew that my friend Dan, who lived like 2 blocks away, knew how to work on bikes. His dad was a mechanic. His brother built BMX bikes. So I took it over to his house, and I mean, he was like taking apart the bottom bracket and like re-greasing all the bearings, and like did like a paint job on like different scratches and stuff. Like, we were there for like 6 hours making this bike rideable. Never got the seat fixed. He couldn't sit down, or else the seat went straight up, which was obviously no good. But while he was fixing the bike, he played Meteora, which like just came out at the time. And I was like really fascinated by him. Like, you know, we were so young. We were in like 7th grade, I think. And he just like knew how to take apart and rebuild a bike. And I just thought, like, how does anyone know this? We're so young, you know? But then like I realized like the music that was playing, I was like, oh my God, what is this? It's like, oh, it's, you know, this band Linkin Park. We listened to the album twice, and then he's like, they have an older album called Hybrid Theory, and that one might even be better. So we listened to that and absolutely blew my mind. But yeah, Meteora was the first album I heard of theirs, and I didn't really know which song to pick because it's such a good record.
I was intrigued because I was going to leave this alone.
Yeah.
You know, you like this band. I don't as much as you. And I was curious because you could have chosen 5 from this record to make your mixtape if you wanted to. I'm curious what gets your number 1 ranking though.
It's really hard because Figure .09 is like one of the first songs that I learned how to play on drums because it's so simple. When I told you that story a while ago about how I invited those 3 girls from my school to come over to my house on an early dismissal, I just played this song for like 4 minutes at them. The beat is just unwavering. It never changes. They were like, can you be done now? I was like, no, there's still more to go.
You were just shooting your shot. So like such confidence, but of all the instruments to try to play a song for a girl for, it's just the beat of a drum with no lyrics at all. It's bold for sure.
It's the worst.
I respect the move because they said no thank you and you said okay, good day to you, but you tried. You know, it's like, shall we court each other? It's like, no thank you. You're like, I understand, goodbye.
So we have that song, which is like obviously sits pretty in a pretty good spot in my heart, in my memory. I always liked Don't Stay in the way it came out of their intro, the foreword. Nobody's Listening is interesting because they have this kind of like flute thing going on. And then Numb is like the obvious, like would be the obvious choice, I guess, because that was like the one that was
it'd be
so
like taking
big.
Such Great Heights off of the other one. Just kind of like, it is what it is. It's probably the best on the record.
Well, you know what? Actually, in real time, I'm going to change my mind because I was going to pick Somewhere I Belong, but I'm changing my mind to Numb. I'm going to
Whoa.
go with the obvious pick.
You should pick both. If we're going 7 deep, I mean, those are both Super Tom songs. If I had to say,
Yeah. Yeah. Numb by Linkin Park. It is. I can't not pick that song. Like, I don't know.
Go with what you feel, man. Yeah,
it's in my
doesn't
contract.
have to be too excruciating.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with that. This was a super. I mean, this was like at the height of like my childhood depression with the horrible, stepdad that I had, the fear that I lived in every day just being home. And I had never heard music that was like this excruciating and this honest before. And it was one of those things where it's like, they wrote this song for me. They are the only ones who understand my pain. Like, no one takes me seriously because I'm a child and they don't think that, like, the thing of being dramatic, whatever. So I listened to nothing but Linkin Park for like an entire calendar year. Yeah. So got to do that.
Is that your fourth?
That's my fourth. Am I? I'm
Okay,
fifth
so you
now,
get
right?
I think so.
Oh, God.
Could you remind me what your tape? Do you want to go to just 7? Do you just want to say it now? Just go for it.
Let's go.
Let's cut it at 5 because the honorable mentions are always more fun for the pod.
Yeah,
anyway.
let's cut it at 5. So this will be my last one.
Oh, I don't want to. I regret everything.
Currently, I have Ocean Avenue by Yellow Card, I Miss You by Blink-182, The Shooting Star That Destroyed Us All by A Static Lullaby, and Numb by Linkin Park. And you...
Damn, that's much better.
What do you have?
Such Great Heights by the Postal Service, Whatever Happened by the Strokes, Tell That Mickey Just Made My List of Things to Do Today by Fall Out Boy, and The Quiet Things That No One Ever Knows by Brand New. And 2 of those probably could be traded. I think I panicked. I did. This whole thing up.
All right, my last one, Jesus.
Yours is better fundamentally at this point. You have so many heavy hitters. But man, see, you. Go ahead. You, but good for you.
I want to say Play Crack the Sky by Brand New.
Sure.
But I don't think I'm going to.
Okay.
It's I wonder if my mind is just trying to not double down on the album. I really do love that song, but I think I'm going to go with Look What Happened by Less Than Jake.
Okay.
Because Anthem was played a lot by myself around that time. And this, oh my God, this is such a good record. There's so many good songs on it. And you have, oh God, I know one of Zach's favorite songs of all time comes right after Look What Happened on the record. But I don't know, like, I don't really have like crazy strong memories with this album. I do remember being in like the weight room of my dad's gym up in the barn listening to Less Than Jake. I knew that Fallon Hall liked ska and Less Than Jake, and I was like f***ing in love with her when I was, 14 or whatever. So it's kind of like, oh man, this cool girl likes this song and I like this song. Does the cool girl like me too? Does A equal C? Like, but just a good song. I mean, we were supposed to play with them.
Let me ask you this. If I gave you Quiet Things That No One Ever Knows right now, what would that knock one of your 5 off?
Yes, it would knock off Look What Happened.
Then let's do that, because I need to make room because I f***ed everything up. You want it? Please take it. It's my gift. I'm not even, vendetta aside, just trying to make good radio or whatever, but now I'm just upset with myself.
Fine, I'll take it.
Cool.
Sorry, Look What Happened. You're a great song.
Yeah, deuces. Okay. So that gives me 2. And that makes things a little better. Let's go Hey Ya by Outkast.
Oh, oh, yeah.
So the thing is, dude, I was going to do my number 1 pick as Calling on Angels by Train, because I know you were a Train guy because you dated Steph for so long. But I'm not going to pick that. I thought you were going to. I honestly did. But,
wow. I didn't even know that album came out. Train is
this was like
low-key awesome, though.
Peak junior high locker room rap.
Yes.
Like mixes. So that's not what Hey Ya was for me. Hey Ya and Speaker Box and The Love Below is always like a Halloween costume I've really wanted to do. Like dress up like the two crews and someone has to be Cat Williams in the scenario in the music video for I Like the Way You Move, and they like stop everybody on stage and everything. And it's like my dream group Halloween costume. It'd be like 30 people. It'd be a mess. It wouldn't make sense, but I want to someday. My other group one is Recess, but it's kind of been overdone at this point. Hey Ya was, I think I've talked about it on the show before. One of the snippets was like the Windows Media Player sample for the computer we got. So it was like the one song I had access to when my mom was using the phone. So I would just listen to it while playing Snood for like hours. I just loved it so much.
God, dude. How early 2000s was that sentence?
Yeah, Snood, dude. Snood, dude, some of those levels, you can get it to bounce. If you got the ricochets right, it would hit. Here's some locker room stuff that won't make it. I believe PIMP and Into Club.
Yep, I had
Bacardi
that.
Party.
Yep.
Like, just, you knew what the song was. You loved it. You didn't know what Bacardi was, but you knew it rhymed with party, and it was fun. And you were just like, yeah, man, pop off. I love to pop off.
Yeah.
How close was that to making your list? Because there was like a couple 50 Cent records there, including The Massacre, probably specifically, that like wove its way into suburban. Like, it was kind of just one of those records. Like, it wasn't even, it was just everywhere, right?
Yeah, I mean, 2003 is 7th grade for both of us. This song, we had the weird Catholic school dances. There was one girl I thought was really cute, and I knew she liked hip hop. I was like, man, I wonder if I can dance to this song with her. And yeah, so Into Club was definitely on my list. It was going to be one of the first honorable mentions, wanting to dance with Kristen.
Yeah, that and Shake Your Tail Feather, and I think PIMP.
Oh, God.
I wanted to note as like stuff that was definitely on my radar on the iPod because of like football locker room stuff, mixes to get pumped before the games or whatever. Yeah. But wouldn't make it, but it's worth just kind of mentioning for the thought process. But Hey Ya makes my number 4, and I think that I'm going to have to go. It's tough because I have 2 slots left, or 1 left.
1.
Yeah. What did I just pick? Oh, God. I kind of want to give you the Postal Service song, too. Okay. Because I want to do I Believe in a Thing Called Love by the Darkness, but I'm going to have to select Science of Selling Yourself Short by Less Than Jake.
Yes, dude.
In terms of,
yes.
It's so good. And it's like the perfect Sad Boy Hall of Famer. And it's, I don't know. Less Than Jake. More important to hopefully more people's lives than maybe most people realize. Like the least committal statement ever made on the show, but like they had some important songs. I don't know.
I want to give a quick shout out to our best friend Zach. I know that had he been here with us today, this would have been his first pick.
He's alive.
Well, yeah, he's alive. He's just not on the recording.
Yeah. You started that off so somberly. It's like, oh my God.
Always in our hearts.
Convincing that even I, for a second, was like, is there something I don't know?
Yeah, good song. Super good song. Anthem's such a good album. So many good songs from that. I'm glad you picked that. Okay. Yeah. I feel good. Yes. I feel good.
Yeah, I mean, The Darkness, I Believe in a Thing Called Love is a fun karaoke thing to try. I think it'll probably be something that's played during my sister's wedding this spring, which I'm excited about because she loves it. She always said, Desperado by the Eagles, make sure it gets played at her funeral.
Oh, yeah.
And I Believe in a Thing Called Love, she called dibs for like walking down the aisle to it because it was interesting to call dibs on things like that so young, but now I get it because it's such a good song. So fun. That doesn't make my list. But yeah, I guess mine ends up being Hey Ya, Such Great Heights, Tell That Mickey Just Made My List of Things to Do Today, Science of Selling Yourself Short, and Whatever Happened by the Strokes, which you took Miss You. I was going to pick Asthenia by Blink.
Ooh.
Because I love that's probably my favorite on the album.
Wow. Okay. That's a good one.
Yeah. Shake Your Tail Feather was really close.
Let's do a bonus round. Let's take a number 6. Let's do it.
Okay, number 6. Oh, shizzle, my goodness gracious. Oh, now you got to look at the... Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to pick, this is ballsy, Remix to Ignition.
Oh my God. I don't even want to talk about it.
So I was talking to Megan, my wife, about this last night, and she's like, oh my God, like the lyrics are dumb. He says, I'm not sober, I'm drunk. And it was like, 5 seconds of silence, and I was like, he absolutely does not say that. Like, those are not the lyrics. It's like, so what? I'm drunk. She's like, no, he says, I'm not sober. I'm drunk. That's the dumbest thing ever. So we had to look up the lyrics, and she still refused to say that she was wrong. But I thought that
He
was
says
so
pretty
funny.
clearly, I'm like, so what? I'm drunk. It's the freaking weekend, baby. I'm about to have me some fun. It's not even one of those like Starbucks lovers lyrics. It's just something you should be able to hear with your ears.
She also said, this is so funny. The misheard lyrics are so great. On Blink 182's Cheshire Cat, I forget what song it is, but he says, sometimes I want to take my toaster in the bath. And she said she thought it was, sometimes I want to take my toaster in the back, like to shove it up his ass.
My sister was an all-timer in terms of mishearing lyrics. I'd be like, how? I'm not even going to make fun of you. Just like, are you okay? You know, like at some point, you're just got to like, oh gosh. Anyway.
So, okay, so are you upset about Remix to Ignition? Is it too, I mean, what's the deal with that?
R. Kelly's canceled, so we don't have to take too much time. But at the time, it was like, he's a pop artist. At the time, I think everyone in the world was still like, okay, he's an eccentric pop artist. I think knowing what we know now, we're allowed to kind of move along.
Wait, I don't know much about the R. Kelly stuff.
Oh, yeah. See, I thought you were being controversial. Definitely keeping like teens at his house.
Oh, damn.
Prostitution ring.
Okay.
Yeah, like,
okay. Well,
not like
on.
sex slavery, but not far enough from that to be totally cool.
All right. I'm going to switch it.
But yeah, no, there's a huge documentary about like total, like, yeah, no, he's in custody and stuff. Like, it's bad. So,
okay. No, that.
I didn't know you didn't know, but now that I should, as a friend, say, Tom, you should not pick that song. Okay. That's why I reacted by saying, oh, God, I don't even want to talk about it. People joke around about canceled, the word canceled a lot, like, oh, they're canceled, but R. Kelly's, it's okay. We don't need R. Kelly's music to, like, be happy in life. It's fine.
All right. Give me A Favorite House Atlantic by Coheed and Cambria.
Oh, my God. No. Oh. Damn. No way. No way. Did that album come out?
I hope so. Let's see what Google says. They steered me wrong. 2003?
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. You're clean. I'm upset, but you're clean.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. It says it came out in 2004.
No, it's October 2003.
Well, it also says June 8th, 2004. I don't know what's right.
It was released on October 7th, 2003.
Okay.
Through Equal Vision Records. You're right.
As a single.
I'm upset. Oh my God, I hate this so much, dude. This is such a stupid game. And everything's dumb.
Yeah. So.
Okay, I'll just pick a fucking song. Let's end this. That was such a good one because the lyrics were cool. You could put it as your aim profile. It was like the back end of the. You were just like, "Hey, good eye sniper, I'll shoot you." Blah 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 blah. And you're like, "Oh, that's a good song." It was a cool song to have known of for a certain amount of time there, right?
So good, yeah. God.
Not that it wasn't mainstream, but I don't know. It was something that, like, if you had come across it, maybe there was street cred there somehow. Maybe that was just within our own junior high atmosphere, but it was just like, yeah, Coheed, I'm into him. Yeah, I like him. Do you feel the same way, or?
I mean, just I love a few Coheed songs, but I'm not like a huge Coheed fan. It's just like that song again, dude. 8th grade, like.
You know that I was like way behind the 8 ball on video games, and my buddy Joe gave me a PlayStation 1 for like just that was sitting in his room. He's like, dude, just do something, just for the sake of like being able to. Yeah, right. Which gamers would laugh at, but I'm like, is that late? But pretty much the only game I played was Toy Story 2, and I would listen to the Garden State soundtrack and in keeping sequence of Silent Earth, which is like, you know, a little bit of up, a little bit of down or whatever, or down and down. It depends on how you view it. But yeah, go deep. You'd be playing with Buzz on one of the construction levels or whatever, trying to get through the toy shop maybe, and he'd just be going through 5 minutes of song before you hear him say the Dear Amberlina part or whatever. Dear Amberlina. Anyway, love it so much. I've told this story in the pod before, but at Bunbury, when I was covering it in Cincinnati a year and a half ago-ish, I had never thrown the devil horns up before, but they played the album version of In Keeping Secrets of Silent Earth, which I was like, was ballsy. They like opened with it. I was like, oh my God. But it was like anything a fan could ask for, which I don't even know if I'm a fan officially, but I was like, is this what people do? Because I feel obliged to throw up some horns. And it was probably embarrassing. Everyone was probably like, this guy sucks. But I felt it. And it felt right at the time. Oh, bonus. I don't know, man. I already mentioned I Believe in a Thing Called Love. It's a fun song, but it didn't mean that much to me, honestly. Let's say, you know what I wanted to say? Well, I'm just going through my honorable mentions. Let's go Stacy's Mom.
Oh,
Yeah, you can
really?
suck it. You want to trade bonus songs?
No.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Well, maybe I do. I don't know.
Yeah. Hey. It's like when we play this game, every pick is what the other person would have wanted. Or, like, we should just trade mixtapes at the end of the episode. Do you want to just run through your honorable mentions now that we're trying to get into the end of the episode?
Yeah. Okay, so I ended up with for the main list: Ocean Avenue, Yellow Card, I Miss You by Blink-182, The Shooting Star That Destroyed Us All by Static Lullaby, Numb by Linkin Park, Quiet Things That No One Ever Knows by Brand New, thanks Pat, and A Favor House Atlantic
Via
by
trade.
Coheed Cambria.
There you go.
And my honorable mentions I had In the Club. Okay, so Crazy in Love by Beyonce and Jay-Z, because
yeah.
it was like my dad's favorite song at the time, and he'd always be like, "Oh, I love that song, Crazy in the House." You know, Crazy in the House? I'm like, I don't think that's the name of it, Dad.
That's like the best dad statement.
But he loved it
of all time.
He had such a crush on Beyonce.
Oh, I love that song, Crazy in the House. Like, you're killing the dad game, Dad. Like, that's like prototypical dad sentence there. Good work out of you.
I have Play Crack the Sky and Boy Who Blocked His Own Shot. Look What Happened made its way back onto honorable mentions. And I had Sleeping In by the Postal Service. That was Hannah's favorite song off that album. Ooh. I loved it too. Mm-hmm. And my last one, I had Red Hot Moon by Rancid.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Rancid.
They're
nice
good,
Hot Topic black t-shirt. Or was it Spencer's Gifts? I can never.
Good stuff, man. I remember David Courtney from that album coming on. We were like shuffling Christmas music as we were decorating the tree, and somehow David Courtney came on, and it was like, "Where are you, motherfuckers?" Like super loud. And my mom was like, "Woo!" And my sister, just being a brat, was like, "Do you know what rancid stands for? It means filthy, disgusting." Just like trying to add fuel to the fire. And like my sister and I got along, but she was just being such a brat.
Yeah. Just one of those sibling moments where it's like, actually, Tom, here's the definition of that word. Thanks for stealing the last piece of French toast the other Saturday. You think I'd forget? Just household stuff. Being roommates, it gets hectic. Okay. I ended up with Such Great Heights by the Postal Service. That whole album.
The whole album.
Hey Ya by Outkast. You know, Speaker Box is probably better than The Love Below, as tweeted by ESPN personality Bomani Jones the other week. But Hey Ya is just awesome. I love it so much. Whatever Happened by The Strokes. Tell That Mickey Just Made My List of Things to Do Today by Fall Out Boy. And The Science of Selling Yourself Short by Less Than Jake, with the bonus track of Stacy's Mom by Fountains of Wayne, which, you know, as I go through it could have been any of these. I wanted to throw you off by drafting The Remedy by Jason Mraz first.
Oh, man. That's a good one.
Because it's so catchy.
It is.
Cry Me a River by JT. You already said Crazy in Love. Where's the Love? I went through an embarrassing Black Eyed Peas phase. It's not even that embarrassing. Just like, where is the love? You know, it's a valid question.
What's wrong with the world, mama?
I know. I Like the Way You Move was fun because a lot of the basketball kids would, when it was like dun 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 dun, they'd like put their arms straight up in the air or like back and forth in like kind of with the beat of the dun dun dun. Dun. Like there was like a little neighborhood dance to it, which don't even call it a dance, but you know, whatever. It was fun. Outkast just doing their thing, and we got to enjoy it. It was just a great time to be alive, for sure. Unironically, Miss Independent by Kelly Clarkson.
Oh,
big fan of that song. Legitimately almost made the list. The Reason by Hoobastank came out that year.
Oh, shit. Damn.
I know. Are You Gonna Be My Girl by Jet and Seven Nation Army by White Stripes are two that should have been picked by both of us.
Oh.
But I think Seven Nation Army is one of those songs that I think we're both willing to admit we weren't cool enough to be into early White Stripes at the time.
I still don't like it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's fine. Although it is one of my recommendations this week. There's a podcast about the making of the band. That's kind of interesting. Maps by the Yeah Yeah Yeahs, whatever. You know, we weren't in New York and 30 at the time, so we don't care. But, you know, it was in Guitar Hero for our generation or whatever. And by a generation, I mean we were 5 years younger than the people enjoying it or whatever. And then, yeah, I was going to try to like steal your thunder in round one by also either picking, of course, The Remedy by Jason frickin' Mraz or Calling on Angels by Train, which should be the national song of Erie, Pennsylvania.
It's so good.
It's so good. Drops of Jupiter is obviously very good, but Calling on Angels is equally as good and anthemic and important to the zeitgeist, I think. And Asthenia from Blink self-titled, whatever. There's a ton of, you know, paying homage to this and that, but I'm not happy about anything that's happened here today. It's a nice like round of, hey, remember that type episode, but you know, I feel most guilty about the White Stripes and Jet snubs, and also Fountains of Wayne, perhaps. But you know, where's the love? Hopefully, the love is here with all of you today.
Yeah,
enjoying this fine program. That was fun. That was pretty good.
That was a
nice
lot
to
of
have some fun.
Yeah.
We usually, I was afraid we had already done too many of these, but we had been getting a little stingy with the heavily research-based stuff, which, depending on what you like, we've been thinking about doing soundtrack head-to-head episodes. We've been thinking about doing this and that. Looks like a lot of you have been listening to some of our old head-to-head episodes where we would put albums and pit them against each other in kind of a death match thing, which made no sense. It was just an excuse to talk about more stuff that you guys probably liked. But the one involving Something Corporate, Leaving Through the Window, and Linkin Park's Meteora, right?
Yeah.
That mashup episode has done quite well. But then again, so has the research-based episode on Evanescence's Bring Me to Life. So tell us what you want at _reminiscent FM on Twitter. That's pretty much how you can get to us.
We've been getting a lot of like requests for episodes on there lately, and that feels super cool. We're going to be doing some of those in the upcoming weeks. I think tentatively we have by Reliant K next week. Is that the plan?
Yeah, and then on the horizon soon after will be some sort of Jimmy Eat World thing, and probably soon after or before that one, maybe even we'll do that one Academy is record that was big, and do our favorite stuff off that, because of the people chiming in and making requests. But this one was definitely kind of a self-indulgent one for us. But if you like it, we'll do more, obviously. So, Tom, I'm sorry I would say sorry, but I think we both never feel good after this. So, you know, it is what it is, man. No love lost. We'll be here again next week, same time, same place. So
brutal. Well, let's give a song of the week, something to look forward to, and also. This is the last episode of the month. Actually, I think it's the first episode of the next month. So we will have our Apple Music and Spotify playlists on our website. You can listen to all of our songs of the week on the playlist, any songs that we talked about in the episodes. We're going to make a separate playlist for our 2003 mixtape draft. So lots of playlists. If you go to our website, reminiscentpodcast.com/episode/143, all the links to the playlists. I'll be jamming them all weekend. So, definitely make sure to check those out. We had requests for more playlists, so there's going to be a lot this week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. Are we allowed to say like and subscribe? Is that to break your phone, smash that subscribe button?
I don't think you can like a podcast formally on the internet, but subscribe.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
The share with
tell
a
your friends,
thing,
word of mouth.
Yeah,
Are we allowed to ask that kindly if you're willing? It's weird. Like we usually don't do too much of this stuff, but I am also delaying to find my song of the week. So Tom, if you don't mind going on and on about how people should, spread the word about the show and everything.
I guess like my dream for the show is that, someone would listen, hear the idea of a 2003 mixtape draft, and then want to do it themselves with a friend. Like that would be kind of the coolest thing I could imagine coming from this show. Because to me, it's a really fun kind of like thought experiment. It's a fun game. And obviously it gets a little heated. I think I was clipping a little bit on my input there at times, getting a little angry, but I would love to hear what other people come up with for their 2003 mixtape drafts. You can probably fit that all into a Twitter post. So yeah, let us know what maybe let us know what your picks would be and tag a friend to do the same. I don't know if that sounds too markety, but honestly, I just want to see what people pick. So maybe,
maybe some of the conversations have been nice. People reaching out. One gentleman said he was listening to the Hawthorne Heights episode and they happened to be playing with Newfound Glory in his town that week, which was something that happens every time you listen. So if you just listen, Avril Lavigne will come to your town. So it's like a little agreement we have worked out with pretty much everyone who's famous. So that's cool. No, but thanks for tweeting at us. And no songs of the week from me this week, but I do have 2 podcasts that I've been enjoying, if you don't mind me recommending. Striped, The Story of the White Stripes, pretty good. Not great, but, good if you like the White Stripes. And kind of telling, if you're joining our unofficial book club, it kind of follows some of the roots of This Band Could Be Your Life stuff from the indie underground from the 80s that kind of leaked into the 90s and stuff.
Wait, is the whole podcast about that band or just that episode?
It's just the band. It's like a 5-episode first season about how they got pretty lucky and like Pavement needed an opener in some southern city and they had to do it super short notice and they called Jack White because they had just released a record and had some buzz and drove a van down and skipped school, I guess. Meg skipped school or something as the story goes and, killed it. And everyone was like, oh, they're going to be more famous than us for sure. Like they were like, took a chance on these 2 kids. Like, what is this even going to be? But then it was obviously legendary music. Like Jack White is obviously very good at what he does. One of the best ever. And Pavement was just like, okay, yeah, no, great. Sure, yeah, sure. We'll be opening for them like in 2 years, I'm sure. So it's just kind of funny stories. And then stories from the road, bands talking about touring and everything. The Road Taken with CT and Baio. I always mess this up. CT and Baio, from 2 guys from Vampire Weekend who interview guys like Patrick Carney from the Black Keys and people from Mumford & Sons and everything, and they talk about their stories about touring and kind of the trials and tribulations of the early days of touring and touring later. So a couple music podcasts that have been, if you're into our show, you might be into those shows as well. So it might be easy commute listening if that's what you're into.
Cool. I guess I'll give a podcast of the week. Hello Internet, my favorite podcast of all time, just put out an episode today. Stoked to check it out. A song of the week would be Separate Wounds by Counterparts. They are a melodic hardcore band that I'm going to be seeing on Sunday. And then on Saturday, I'm seeing The Dangerous Summer, which is like one of my favorite bands of all time. They're from Baltimore, so I saw them a lot when I was living in the DC area. If you've never heard of them, the song Where I Want to Be off of their first album, Reach for the Sun, is like one of the most important songs in my entire existence. So that's a really good one. Stoked to check out both of them 2 days in a row. And I'm starting the 3rd book in the Maze Runner series, The Death Cure. I'm excited for that. And yeah, trying to read a lot. I've got a stack of like 30 books that I wanted to get through this year. I'm about halfway through. And yeah, lots of cool stuff coming up. And yeah, hit us up on Twitter. That's kind of where we are the most. You can check out our Instagram. We do some cool stuff on there. And we will.
And if you missed it, Libsyn wrote us up. So that was
yeah, pretty cool article.
It's on our Twitter if you scroll down a little bit. But
yeah, so cool stuff. Great episode. That was super stressful, super fun. Glad we did it. And 2004, I think, might even be worse. So
right. Yeah, it's only going to get worse the older we get through the decade.
Yeah.
Because we have only been more and more aware of music. So this, yeah, thanks for nothing. Bish.
All right, I'll talk to you next week, man.
All right, later, man. Love you.
Love you too, dude. See ya. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for sticking through all the way to the end. Please feel free to tweet at the show @_reminiscentfm and let us know which songs would make it into your 2003 mixtape draft. Too many good songs, way too many to even bring up on this episode. Mortified by the ones that we left out, but such is life. We love you all so much, and we'll talk to you next week. Happy Halloween, happy November, and check out our playlist on Apple Music and Spotify at reminiscentpodcast.com. See ya.